You think you know IT 2017, the creepy clown, the red balloon, the storm drain scene that haunted an entire generation. But what if I told you there's a lot more hiding scarier than Pennywise himself? From real nightmares on set to hidden messages from Stephen King's universe and a version of Pennywise so disturbing it almost got banned. This is 28 Scary Facts You Didn't Know About IT 2017.
Beep, beep, Richie.
Fact 1. The idea was to capture fear itself. Director Andy Muschietti didn't want to make just another monster movie. He said his goal was to make childhood fear itself come alive, not through jump scares, but through emotion and memory. Every fear in IT is grounded in something real: guilt, loneliness, or loss. Pennywise isn't just a monster, he's the shape of everything you were afraid of growing up. Fact 2. The kids weren't allowed to see Pennywise. When Bill Skarsgård first appeared in full costume, the young cast had no idea what to expect. The director made sure their first encounter happened on camera, and it worked perfectly. One of the kids actually started crying, and Skarsgård broke character immediately to apologize. But Muschietti loved the footage so much, he kept it in. That's why their fear looked so real, because it was. Fact 3. Pennywise's smile is 100% real. That horrifying, crooked smile, no CGI. Bill Skarsgård can actually pull one side of his mouth into that twisted, uneven grin naturally. He first did it as a joke for the director, and everyone in the room went silent. Muschietti said, "That's it. That's Pennywise." From that moment on, the smile became one of horror's most iconic images. Fact 4. The Skarsgård family warned him about the role. Bill's father, Stellan Skarsgård, and his brother Alexander both warned him not to dive too deep into Pennywise. They told him the character could stick with him long after filming ended, and they were right. Bill later admitted that even after production wrapped, he kept dreaming of Pennywise, the clown smiling at him in the dark, whispering from the corner of his room. Fact 5. There was almost a completely different movie. Before Muschietti took over, True Detective director Cary Fukunaga was originally set to direct IT. His version was reportedly much darker and more psychological, less supernatural, more disturbing. He even rewrote the script to make Pennywise more human and tragic. But after creative disagreements with the studio, he left the project, and Muschietti brought it back to Stephen King's original tone. Fact 6. Hiya Georgie took 21 takes. That unforgettable opening scene, Pennywise in the sewer with Georgie, was filmed 21 times. Skarsgård spent hours crouched inside a narrow, wet pipe, staying in character the whole time. He said Muschietti told him, "You're not smiling because you're happy, you're smiling because you're starving." That single direction changed everything about the performance. Fact 7. The balloons were practical effects. The red balloons weren't CGI, they were practical. The crew used helium, invisible wires, and even reversed footage to make them float in eerie, unnatural ways. In fact, the balloon that drifts up toward the camera in Georgie's basement was done entirely by hand, using a hidden rig and incredible patience. Fact 8. Filmed in a real, haunted town. The movie was shot in Port Hope, Ontario, which doubled for Derry, Maine. During production, locals claimed strange things started happening: sudden power outages, missing props, and one night, red balloons appeared tied to sewer grates across town. No one on the crew admitted to doing it. To this day, nobody knows who did. And speaking of fear, the director actually used one actor's real phobia against them, and it worked too well. Fact 9. The leper scene was genuine terror. Jack Dylan Grazer, who played Eddie, suffers from a real phobia of germs. So when the grotesque leper suddenly lunged at him during filming, the reaction you see is authentic. Director Muschietti didn't warn him beforehand. He wanted Eddie's terror to feel natural, and it definitely did. Fact 10. Pennywise's drool wasn't makeup, it was real. Those thick strands of drool dripping from Pennywise's mouth weren't fake. The prosthetic teeth Skarsgård wore made it almost impossible to swallow, so he just let the saliva fall. Muschietti thought it looked disturbingly animalistic, as if Pennywise was literally salivating over his victims. Fact 11. The Losers Club actually became best friends. Before filming began, the kids spent weeks together doing team activities, hanging out, and watching 80s movies. Muschietti wanted them to form real bonds before facing Pennywise. It worked. They still describe each other as family, and that chemistry bleeds into every frame of the movie. Fact 12. Stephen King actually loved this version. Stephen King isn't always a fan of film adaptations of his work, but he praised IT 2017 for its authenticity and emotional depth. He said it captured the true heart of his story, the balance between horror and childhood innocence. Fact 13. Pennywise's voice changed mid-film. Originally, Bill Skarsgård performed Pennywise with a deep demonic voice, but Muschietti asked him to make it higher, childlike, sweet, and offbeat. The result was more unpredictable. Pennywise could sound friendly one moment and utterly monstrous the next. Fact 14. The dance was completely improvised. The famous dancing clown scene wasn't in the script. Skarsgård just started moving robotically during a take, keeping his eyes locked forward while the camera shook to the rhythm. The moment was so bizarre and unsettling that Muschietti immediately said, "We're keeping that." It later became one of the film's most viral moments. Fact 15. The bathroom scene used over 1,700 gallons of blood. When Beverly's bathroom fills with blood, the crew used more fake blood than The Shining's elevator scene. It took an entire day to prepare and could only be shot once. Sophia Lillis said it was so overwhelming she could barely see or hear during the take. What you see on screen is pure panic. No acting required. But if that sounds bad, wait until you hear what Skarsgård started seeing when the cameras stopped rolling. Fact 16. Skarsgård started hallucinating Pennywise. After months of intense filming, Bill Skarsgård admitted that Pennywise began showing up in his dreams, and sometimes even in his reflection. He said he'd glance in a mirror and see the clown's face, looking back. After filming ended, he took a long break from acting just to let the clown go. Fact 17. Hidden Stephen King. References everywhere. Throughout Derry, you can spot signs and details connecting to other Stephen King stories. The Derry Public Library, a nod to Insomnia, and a Tracker Brothers truck, which appears in Christine. King fans know, in his universe, every story is connected. Fact 18. Georgie's death almost didn't happen on screen. Warner Brothers wanted to cut away before Pennywise attacks Georgie to avoid an R rating, but Muschietti refused, arguing that the audience had to see how real the threat was. That one moment defined the entire tone of the film: brutal, honest, and unapologetically terrifying. Fact 19. The eyes are real. No visual effects were used for Pennywise's wandering eyes. Bill Skarsgård can actually move each eye independently, a trick he learned as a kid to freak out his brothers. The crew was so impressed, they rewrote scenes just to show it off. Fact 20. The kids had a swear jar. Since the movie required so much cursing, the crew started a swear jar as a joke. By the end of filming, it was overflowing, mostly thanks to Finn Wolfhard, who fully embraced his role as Richie Tozier. Fact 21. Pennywise's makeup took over 5 hours. It took a team of artists more than 5 hours every morning to transform Bill Skarsgård into Pennywise. Layers of silicone, veins, paint, and prosthetic teeth were applied daily. He couldn't eat properly on set. He had to drink his meals through a straw. Fact 22. The final sewer scene used real water. Those dark sewer tunnels were flooded with real dirty water. The actors spent hours waist-deep in it, shivering between takes. Skarsgård said the smell was so bad, it added to the horror. Fact 23. Pennywise's lair has symbolism. The mountain of floating objects in Pennywise's lair isn't random. Each one represents a lost child's memory, stuck in time. Muschietti said it symbolizes how trauma floats inside you forever, never fully disappearing. Fact 24. The leper makeup was disgustingly realistic. Actor Javier Botet, who played the leper, wore layers of rotting silicone makeup that emitted an awful chemical smell under the hot lights. The cast said it made the air on set unbearable, but it looked incredible on camera. Fact 25. There's a hidden nod to the 1990 miniseries. When the kids ride their bikes past a mural in Derry, there's a quick glimpse of a clown painted in the background, styled exactly like Tim Curry's Pennywise from the original IT, 1990. Fact 26. You'll Float 2 wasn't in the script.
You'll float 2! You'll float 2! You'll float 2! You'll float 2!
The line that became the film's haunting catchphrase was actually improvised during ADR. The child actor who played Georgie repeated it in different tones, and Muschietti used the eeriest one, looping it throughout the film's sound design. Fact 27. The cast had to watch real horror movies. To help the young actors understand the tone, Muschietti made them watch classic horror films like The Goonies, Nightmare on Elm Street, and Poltergeist. He said he wanted them to feel the spirit of 1980s fear. Fact 28. Pennywise's true form was hinted, but never shown. If you look closely during the final battle, you can see brief flashes of glowing orange light in Pennywise's eyes. That's a reference to his true cosmic form from Stephen King's novel, known as the Deadlights. Muschietti chose to hint at it, saying, "What's unseen is always scarier than what's shown." Pennywise may be gone for now, but fear never really dies. It waits just below the surface. So the next time you see a red balloon drifting in the distance, maybe don't follow it, because in Derry, everyone floats.